Hey there! Thank you for joining me in this new video. This week I had to design some new packaging things for my shop and I thought I could show you the process. It's always nice to see things go from an idea to drawing on a screen to then the actual physical product. There's something about touching your creations in real life that always feels special, right? I worked with Noissue to create a custom tissue paper and water-activated tape. They're working on an eco-packaging concept for the business with compostable, recycled, or reusable products. Plus, they say they plant a tree per order for areas in need to help the world's reforestation, which is super cool. But I also have to mention that unfortunately for low quantity orders, which is what most people tend to go for, they do ship from China. So if you're looking for the most environmentally friendly option out there to reduce carbon footprint, emission, this might not be the best one. They do ship from Europe and the US if the order has more than 10,000 tissue paper sheets, for example, which is funny to say the least, because ain't nobody doing 10,000 sheets. Anyways, well, moving on to the actual designing part, I like that they offer you templates and there's an online application to upload your art and check if everything is alright, but I've seen quite a few artists frustrated not getting that they have to upload a final file. For example, if you have a repeating pattern, you have to upload it already repeated in a full-size sheet, as I'm gonna show you later. And I believe it's pretty standard to online designing tools, and they do send you a proof of the final thing. But since people are still having problems with it, they could be a little bit clearer and add like a mock-up at the end, for example. I believe Vistaprint does that. It also helps to check the scale and avoid other kind of surprises. Since I had watched people reviewing this before, I was a bit more conscious and actively paying attention to those two things, like the size and the pattern. But I completely understand it might be confusing. So moving on, after drawing, stealing sketches from my older illustrations, and outlining everything, it's time to organize them and make a fun pattern. I'm not gonna go over in detail how I make a pattern because it takes too long, and I kind of wanted to be in the moment, having fun while designing and organizing everything, the layout, so I kind of took my time and didn't film. I also have a video where I go in detail like all the steps that I go through to create my patterns if you want to watch. But basically I just put the elements around the page and then I fill the gaps and spaces with scribbles and sparkles and shapes to make sure everything is as busy as it could get. I take way too long making my patterns, but I really enjoy it. After that, I created a new canvas with the actual size of the tissue paper, which is 50 by 75 centimeters or 20 by 30 inches. Yep, it's pretty big. What I like to do to make sure I like the way it looks is I create another canvas with the biggest size of paper I have and can print at home, which is 11 by 17, and I print it out on actual size. You can press Ctrl P or Command P, open the print dialog box, and you can make sure you're printing on 100% actual size, something like that. I was also trying to decide which color I was gonna get, which is why you see so many variations. I do this because it's pretty easy to get lost in scale when you work on a size that you're not really used to. I could spend a long time designing my pattern and then in the end it ends up really tiny. We definitely do not want that. So it's better to prevent those things while we can. While I was on this step, I realized actually that this is a pretty cool DIY wrapping paper. It's plain copy paper, like really cheap, but it works. So if you want to do some really cheap wrapping paper at home with your own designs, you should definitely try it out. I wrapped up Christmas gifts to give away at work last year and it did work. I loved it. It's a little bit thick, but it protects the gift quite nicely. There is so much light in here. It's insane. It's beautiful outside. I love when it snows because everything becomes white and then the light reflects everything to my face because the window is so big. And it's just so bright, so pretty. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it? I'll show it to you anyways. I was really torn making my tissue paper with white as a base color. It's like it doesn't feel like me because I always want strong saturation everywhere. So the plan was to have a solid color background on the tape design. But I ended up not liking it very much. I thought it was too simple. I don't know. I still want to use that design to make like a washi tape something smaller in scale. So I just got some of the drawings from my tissue paper and colored them instead. It was a bit frustrating to redesign my packaging when I had been away from my art for quite some time because I was so busy with my day job. It's not that I was hating everything I was making, but it's just hard to explain. I don't think I'll have a major style change or this big breakthrough somehow. I just feel disconnected to my art because, well, I was not in touch with it. I was not drawing that much. What I did to get around that feeling was to give myself some sort of a start by grabbing a few sketches that I had already done in the past and just like complement them, go from there. So it was not 100% new, but kinda refreshed. It helped me not feel anxious about having to do something completely from scratch. And at least whatever happens later on, I'll have a clearer direction to where I want to go, because I'll already have this one to compare to. What I mean is, it's easier to move when you already have something than when you have to start from zero. At least it eases a lot of the sense of anxiety and thinking too much about the whole thing, which usually comes along with procrastinating and avoiding doing the work because of that. In the end, I felt really good that I still finished everything, and I ended up making something despite being in a weird place mentally, with so much stress and exhaustion. Nothing beats the feeling of creating and making something that didn't exist before, and it feels like it's representing you in some sort of way. I absolutely love art for exactly this reason. I spent a few days creating my new packaging and it was like a nice chill time in the midst of the chaos. Okay, there is one other thing I didn't like that I want to mention. The tissue paper can have up to 2 colors plus white. If you have a design with just one color like mine and white, they're gonna be printed on a 17 GSM paper, which is very, very thin, like transparent and very fragile. I believe it's thinner than your usual tracing paper. If your design has 2 colors other than white, they'll upgrade it to a 28 GSM thicker paper, which I think feels more sturdy. Personally, I would have preferred that, not gonna lie, but I didn't know it was possible. It was nowhere on the actual online design tool, and the person that I talked to didn't mention it to me. It was only when I was looking up their website to film this video that I saw that this was an option. As you can see, the full sheets are way too big, so I'm cutting them in 4 so I can use to pack my usual sticker order. I'm also leaving some sheets cut in half in case I need to pack something bigger. I hope you liked the video. Looking back on this footage and remembering how the end of last year was to me felt a little strange, but it goes to say that everything passes and I'm happy I still got to create to help me move on. I hope you can find motivation and create as well, whether you're going through something weird or some tough times or not. Well, we kind of all are going through some weird times right now. I know it's gonna make you feel better, so keep going. You'll make yourself very proud. Okay, I'll stop talking. I'll see you on my next video. Bye!